Hey there, gang. Thank you for buying this video, and welcome to the tutorial for definitely one of the most famous non-famous songs in Billy Joel's catalog, Miami 2017, Seen the Lights Go Out on Broadway. We have a lot of stuff to cover on this video. We're going to teach it all to you. And we're going to teach you some fun things. There's some famous variations on this song that are done live, that not big ones, but we're going to teach you the straight version like it was on the Turnstiles album, but we're also going to teach you some fun things. For instance, the little intro on the Turnstiles album sounds like this. Or something like that. But if you ever heard it live on the Songs in the Attic album, then you're going to notice it's more like this. Or if you saw the Yankee Stadium concert, like most Billy Joel geeks who are going to want this this tutorial, where you're probably going to remember hearing something like this. So we're going to teach you all those different variations and just fun things. For instance, when you get into if you hear them play live, they'll be playing along, seeing the lights go out on Broadway. Okay, now that's the Turnstiles album version, but if you see them live, you're probably going to hear them do a little thing where it's seeing the lights go out on Broadway. Teach you that, and we're going to teach you at the end on the third verse, when he comes in and goes, seeing the lights go out on Broadway, I'll watch the mighty skyline fall. So we're going to teach you all those fun little variations so that you can pick and choose what you want to do. If you want to play it straight like they did on Turnstiles, you'll be able to do that. If you want to play it the way or throw in some of the things that he does when he's playing live, you can do that too. So I've learned it all, and I want to pass it on to you, and I'm very, very grateful that you want to learn it and that you've purchased this video. So without further ado, I will get started in just a moment. All right, I'm back, and I know for you it was just like, a split second. It was pretty cool for me, I went out and had a sandwich, and now I feel a lot better and definitely more prepared to teach this tutorial. So without further ado, first of all, we're going to be in the key of D, which is where it was recorded. If you are a singer and you're going to sing along with this, and you were like me and have a slightly lower voice than Billy Joel did back in 1976 when he recorded this, don't be afraid to use your transposition key. I usually knock it down at least a half step. I might knock it down a whole step depending on how I'm feeling at the moment, but usually I'm ending up playing it in the key of D flat, but I don't play it in D flat. I mean, for heaven's sakes, I'd be crazy to learn the whole thing in D flat. That's 5 flats. We don't need the stress of playing in 5 flats, so I just play it in D all the time, and then use my transposition key from time to time on these songs when I'm singing along to make it a little easier. And if you're playing on an acoustic piano and you have that problem, I feel for you. You either need to get yourself a good keyboard, or you need to get good at transposing things, or you need to learn how to sing really high. But we will do it in the key of D so that those of you who are on acoustic pianos, you won't be off. All right? This is the same key that it was recorded in. So what you need to do to get started, we're going to learn this. We're going to work on the coolest part first. We're going to work on this little piano thingy. That thing. What you need to do is, here's middle C. Find an octave above that. And find an octave above that. And essentially below that C that you were just on, you're going to put your left hand on a D and an F sharp like this. I usually use, you can use whichever fingers you want. I tend to use index finger and fourth finger like that. Okay? Your thumb is going to be on an A. And then your index finger needs to be kind of in this D area. And then fourth finger or ring finger and pinky are going to be on F sharp and G respectively, like so. So let's look at what the left hand is doing first. The left hand plays a very important role in this little lick because it's on the downbeats. It's at the beginning of the phrases. So what you have is you play a D and F sharp like this. And then it moves down to a C and an E like so. Then it moves to a B and a D. And then a B flat and a D. And then it does it again. D and F sharp. C and E. B and D. B flat and D. Okay? So I'm not going to, I'll show you how to do the right hand in a second, but I'm going to play the right hand with it and just watch my left hand and see how it factors in. Okay? So D and F sharp, C and E, B and D, B flat and D. They actually go through that rotation just one time at as the intro, and then you drum it down and you do the same thing an octave lower, so then you're here. Okay? But then at the end of the song, you just kind of camp out up here as long as you want to and just kind of vamp on for a while. So, again, that's really all that's happening there is D and F sharp, C and E, B and D, B flat and D. So what is the right hand doing? Watch here. If this is the downbeat, 1. So if we're in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay? This is 1. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. On the end of 1, 1 and 2 is when your right hand comes in. 1 and. So 1 and. 1 and. Okay? Now the right hand line is A, D, and then a little twinkle here. F sharp to G, back to F sharp. Now I tend to play it with fourth and fifth, or sometimes I'll even play it with third and fourth. Or I might do it here. So it really doesn't matter to me. It depends on how big your hands are and what you want to play that line with. But it's A, D, F sharp, G, F sharp, then back to D, then A, D. So watch it real slow. Or if you want to use these fingers. Okay? So that's the first part of the line. this is as good a time as any for me to make my standard disclaimer that I am going to make some goofs and some errors today, and I apologize for that. It's not that I don't know it, it's not that I'm not good enough to play it, it's just that one of the things that I try to do, there's two things I try to do to make the experience better for you. One is to keep the fingers that are not playing notes out of the picture as much as possible, so that because if I just have my hand here and I go, I think it's harder to tell what I'm playing, and so I try to be clear down here on the front as much as possible and move these other fingers out of the way so you can really see what's happening. And frankly, that's a tricky way to play the piano, and I'm going to make some mistakes. When I do, I will own it, say, I goofed, sorry, ignore that, let's try it again. But I will make some mistakes probably because of that. The other thing is that I stare up at the video monitor all the time, because that's telling me exactly what it is you're seeing, and that helps me make sure that the image that you get is something that will help you learn how to play it, instead of just me putting on a little show. But the video monitor is about that big for me. And for you, it'll be your entire computer screen or TV screen, but for me, it's just this tiny little screen. So, between those two things, I make a few goofs. I apologize in advance for that. I will do my best, but ultimately, I'm going to do what I think is in your best interest for learning. So we've learned this much so far. Now we move down to this C and E. Now, I'm going to work first on the original version, the Turnstiles album version. It goes here. Okay, so play your C and G, and it's A, E, D, A, D. One more time, slow. Then so let's look at that, the two lines together, real slow. Now we play our B and our D. And you do the same thing, A, E, D, A, D. And you do it one more time when you play this little B flat and D here. Okay? So that whole line from what we've learned so far in slow motion looks like this. Let me slow that down even further. One more time slow, and then I'll play it at the real tempo. Okay, so when you play it at tempo, it comes off like this. Okay, now we simply move everything down one octave. So now here's where you're at on your left hand, and your right hand is here. Same beginning. Bum 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 bada bum bum bum. But instead of moving up to the D there, it's So A, D, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, A, A. Then we move down here to your C and E, and then it's G, F sharp, D, A. Okay, so watch this. Okay, so real slow, it's so A, D, F sharp, D, A, A. G, F sharp, D, A, A. Let me play that real slow. Sorry. Okay, one more time, really slow. And then you do a little pickup down here on A for the next line. So. Okay, and then when we move here, like we do in the left hand with the B and the D, then it's G, F sharp, D, A. G, F sharp, D, A. Okay, and you play through that line twice, so it's G, F sharp, D, A, G, F sharp, D, A. And then when you move to the B flat and D here, it is D, C, B flat, F, E, D, E. Excuse me, here we go. And that's how I play it. Watch what I do. My pinky comes down on D, and it's C, D, C, B flat, F, E, D. See how I have to go. I tend to go like this: pinky, ring, third, index, thumb, and then wrap over with my index finger. Then to third. Okay? That's how I do it. You can pick the fingering that works best for you, but I tend to play it like that. Okay, so let me do the second half of this intro. We were up here, but down here, real slow, watch the whole thing. Excuse me. One more time, and I'll try not to make the goof. I'll stare at the keyboard instead of the little screen. So let's look at the entire intro from beginning to end in real slow motion. Oops. I'm going to do that again in real slow motion for you. And just because I don't think it ever hurts to have repetition and continuity, just watch it one more time in slow motion, and then I'm going to move on and I'm going to show you a couple of variations you can use on this intro. Okay. Now, now that you've kind of got that, at least you've got the tools to learn that. You probably maybe haven't picked it up yet. If you've picked it up already this fast, congratulations. If you haven't, don't worry. Sometimes it can take a little while. Just keep working at it, but you do have the tools there. Now I'm going to show you a couple of variations on that he's used in different live settings in case you want to play it that way. Very, very similar intro. They all start out with this little guy. Okay? So you already know that. It's just that instead of going like this, okay? Here's where we're going. This is the way he played it on the recording for the Songs in the Attic album. And it looks like this. Okay, I'll watch that again. I'm going to play it at full speed, then I'm going to break it down. Okay, so now watch what this is. Excuse me. A, D, E, A, E, D, A. A, D, E, A, E, D, A. Okay? And then when you move here, it's the same thing. And again, the same thing when you go here. So let me play that all the way to the B flat and D part of that line in slow motion. Okay, one more time, slow. Okay, then we're down here again. Just like we did on the last one, on the original recording. Okay, now here's where it gets a little bit different. Instead of going, okay, now what we do is go. Excuse me, I'm going to play it at full speed and then I'll break it down for you. here's what that is. So we've gone like this, just like we had learned in the original one, but now we have this little trill. So what is that? It's F sharp, G, F sharp, D, A, G. Okay. Okay, so let's play that in context here. Okay, again. Okay, and then the next part at full speed looks like this. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a B flat and a D flat being played together like this. And then our thumb comes down on an F. And it's back to the B flat and D. So bum, bum, bum. Okay. And then it's C and E together here. Still with our thumb kind of hinging on that F, so B flat and D, back and forth with F like that, and then it's C and E together. Try that one more time with my hands out of the way as much as possible. Even slower. Excuse me there. Okay, so in context, that whole line, once we've dropped the octave, let me play that part of the line one more time. Okay, now I'm going to go up and I'm going to play the entire intro with the variations from the Songs in the Attic live version. And I'm going to do it in slow motion a couple times for you to watch. Excuse me. Okay, one more time I'm going to play through that again. botched a couple things there. I'm going to do that one more time, try and play it spot on perfect for you. Slow. Okay, now that's your variation from Songs in the Attic. I'm going to show you one more variation that is basically the same thing that we've just learned here with the Songs in the Attic, except there's one minor change. When you saw the Yankee Stadium concert, he played up here, instead of going like this, okay, he went. Okay, and then down here it was exactly the same thing. Okay. Alright, so you've already learned the second half of that, but I need to teach you this variation up top. So we're here, and of course we start out with our thing that stays constant, which is, okay, so that stays the same in every version. Now when we come down to C and E, it is A, D, and then you play A and E together up here, and they kind of alternate between an A down here on your thumb. Let me play it at full speed and I'll break it down again. Okay? So watch this really slow. These are your two high notes, A and E together. So watch me really slow. Okay, so that's your rhythm. So it's A and E together. Okay. D, A, D, A. See how that worked at the end? Bum, 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 bum. So watch it slow again here. Even slower. And then of course you come down here and you do the same thing that we learned for the end of the Songs in the Attic, which is, you know, alright? Or if you want to, you can start taking any bits and pieces of any of the three versions and playing them wherever you want. So the last thing I'm going to do with this, and then we're going to move on to the rest of the song, is I'm going to teach you how to do this at the end of the song and finish. So when you get to the end of it and it says, you know, tell the world about the way the lights went out. Keep the memory alive. That part. Then you come back up and you start going. Or whichever version you wanted to play. Except instead of going down an octave, you just come right back up to your D and F sharp and play here again. And you play exactly what you would play down low. So it's either or it's and then you just keep going like a broken record as long as you want. So you've already learned it. You just learned it here. So you're playing it here instead. You just stay in the same octave. Or, and then right back to it. And at some point, you come down here and you finally drop the octave and you go. Which you've already learned. That should be familiar from playing the original Turnstiles albums. And then you come down and you play on your B flat and D here, and you play D, C, B flat, F, and then you play on a C and an E in the left hand, and then E, D, C, G, and then you play a D chord, which is D and F sharp here, and then A, D, and F sharp here. So watch this. I'm going to play it in slow motion. Okay, watch that one more time, even slower. And then you come down and you hit a hard D power chord low with octave Ds here, and then F sharp, A, and D here. Okay, so in full, I won't play it at full speed, but I'll play it at a tempo and get all the way through, and so you can watch it a little bit slower. One more time through that little line just so you can see it. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just learned one of the most signature piano parts of any Billy Joel song in the entire Billy Joel catalog. So, again, so, take it, spread your wings, fly with it exactly the way you want to fly with it. In the next section, we're going to get into how to play kind of the first verse and the last verse, which is that stuff. And, you know, I seen the lights go out on Broadway. I saw the Empire State a little low. So we'll show you that, and then the section after that we'll get into how to do your, you know, all that good stuff, and then we'll be done. So I'll be with you in just a moment. For you, it'll seem like a moment. For me, I might go have another sandwich. So I'll see you later. Alright, I am back. I have adjusted my camera ever so slightly. You can see the end of my piano here. Don't get fooled, I'm playing on a 76 key keyboard at the moment. I have an 88 key weighted, and people say, my gosh, why aren't you filming these tutorials on that? And I'll tell you why. One, the lighting's not very good where it's at. Two, it's about 3 times as heavy and I don't feel like moving it. And 3, because I'm lazy. No, it's not really because I'm lazy. In fact, this is the keyboard I tend to play all my gigs on. And it is a lot more portable, and I've gotten pretty used to playing on it, so it doesn't bother me. But, you know, this is just for those of you out there who are on spring-loaded keys and have shortened keyboards and all that. Don't worry. You know what? I make my living doing this, and it doesn't bother me to play on them. So, you know, I don't know how much bearing that has on this song tutorial, but I just like to throw it out there. So what we're going to move on to next is, what do we play when we've finished doing the little... Okay? So I need you in the left hand to find F sharps here, really low. So the bass line is F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, B, D, D, D. Okay? So I'll play the right hand with it just so you can see how it plays out, but it's... It doesn't need to be any more than but if you want to add a little bit of pace and character to it, you can do this. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. So see what I'm saying? Dum, bum, 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 bum. It's just got to be very subtle. It can't be a thick bum, bum. You know, it's got to be very legato, very smooth. What does that do? What's the difference? Well, just listen to what happens to the sound. If I play it, this is just straight. I don't do the little bum-ba-bums thing, just straight. Sounds fine. But here it is with that little technique I just showed you for a little bit of pace. So that's really up to you. You can do it however you want, but I have noticed, and I'm sure if you get a lot of my tutorials, you're going to hear me talk about this all the time. I feel like a lot of piano players are frustrated because they feel like there's something missing from what they're doing when they're playing just a solo piano vocal, and they think that it's more notes that they need to be playing, and it's not. It's pace. They need to add pace, because what a lot of people don't do is recognize the left hand's ability with just a couple of changes in the way they play it, how that can add a sense of momentum to a piece of music, and that's what can happen here. I'm going to definitely talk about that when we get through the slower parts, the slower verses, and get into the one where the parts where the drums and the bass and the guitars are in. So, but anyway, that's just a way you can add a little pace if you want to. It sounds fine either way, but I think it adds some character. Okay, so now what is the right hand doing? Well, it's basically playing quarter note. It's playing quarter note chords, okay? So we're on a D chord to begin with, and it definitely needs to be in what we call the second inversion. So you have A in your thumb, D in the middle, and F sharp on top. Okay? So it's 1, 2, and then it goes to a B minor chord, which is B, D, and F sharp. So that, and it's a B minor chord in your right hand, but with a G bass, it becomes a G major 7th chord altogether. For those of you who know chords. If you don't worry, just watch what my hands are doing. So, see? And then it goes, so B, D, G, F sharp, E, D. So we were here. So even slower. Okay, and then we're back to a D chord, which is A, D, and F sharp over an A bass. And then the same thing. So essentially you've gone and the only thing that's changing really is down here. So real slow, watch this. How repetitive that is. Okay? And then it is an A chord over a C sharp bass, which is A, C sharp, and E. Then down to a G chord over a B, which is G, B, and D. And then a D chord with a D up high, and an F sharp below, and a D in the bass. And an A in the middle there. So let's watch that progression. goes to and then it's on your thumb. You come down and you play a D major arpeggio, which is D, F sharp, A, D. And then it is an A chord in second inversion, which is E, A, and C sharp. And then down to a G chord, which is D, G, and B. And then back here to your D chord you were playing with F sharp, A, and D. So watch how that plays out. So let's look at that entire line from beginning to end. I'll play it slow, just watch what my hands are doing. One more time slow. That's one of those mistakes I promised you I'd make. Okay, here we go again. Third time's a charm. I really apologize, but I think it's funny too. I'm going to go through that one more time just because the repetition's good. And of course, at full speed, when you get that worked out, it comes out like this. Okay? So that's what you're going for. So now we are into the official "See the Lights Go Out on Broadway." Okay? So where are we at there? Well, we're right here where we were here. Okay? So you play this D chord, C, and you play it twice over a D. And then it goes to a G over a B chord, so you put a B in the bass, and you play this G chord, which I think the smart way to go is to just play right here, G, B, D. And then we want to jump up to this inversion of the D chord, which is A, D, and F sharp. Okay? And here's why, because you need to be there to be able to go. So you're here. Seeing the lights go out on Broadway. Okay? So watch that slow here. See there? So let's do that again. Then here. Now, this section goes like this. You're on this chord over a D, and then you go down to a C sharp bass, and you play A, E, and G. And then you're on a B minor, which is B, D, and F sharp over a B bass. Okay, so that's dum, dum, then a G chord, which is B, D, and G over a G bass. And then an A chord, which is here, A, C sharp, and E. And I like to bring my pinky in at this time and play a full A chord, which is A, C sharp, E, and A. Okay, so let's recap where we're at. You went, seeing the lights go out on Broadway. Excuse me. Saw the Empire State lay low. Okay? Now, what you do is when you come down off of this A, bum, dum, bum, then it's G, F sharp, okay? Okay? And what happens in the right hand, bum, 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 and then you play the two A's and a D when you play that G like that. Dum, da, dum, and it's a D, E. See there? And then you simply play the same A chord, except you're over an F sharp bass, and it becomes an F sharp minor 7. Okay, so again, here's where we were. We went, seeing the lights go out on Broadway, saw the room, then we're to a B minor chord, which is B, D, and F sharp. And you throw a little 1, 2, and then you play B, C sharp, E, and F sharp. Then back to your B, D, F sharp, see? Well, that sounds like a soap opera, you know? It sounds like one of those soap opera theme songs. Sorry about that. Don't mean to get sidetracked. That's just what it sounds like. Sorry. So anyway, we were here. Then B minor. That's your little grace chord. It's called a sus, suspended. And we're suspending the 4 and the 2. Okay. Hard to see, so it's B, D, and F sharp together, then B, C sharp, E, and F sharp together, then right back to that chord, and then we're to this A thing again, like so. Okay, so let's recap where we've been. Seeing the lights go out on Broadway, saw the Empire State lay low. Life went on beyond the Palisades. They all bought Cadillacs. Okay, here's another fun little ornament. Now we're here on this A chord like so, and your index finger is going to go between a C sharp and a D and back to a C sharp, and you're still going to play the A's and the E. Okay. So we went Palisades. They all bought Cadillacs and left there long ago. See how that goes? Then we go down to a G chord, which is G, B, D, and G. They're long, long ago. Then we go to an A chord again, only with a C sharp bass. Okay, so let's watch that. I'm going to play that really slow here. Actually, I'm just going to go back. Watch how this all fits together. Now we're back to a D chord and we want to play it here. Okay? And then to a G chord with a B bass. We've played that before. So we're here. We held the concert out in Brooklyn. Sorry, that's what I do when I have to hit a really high note and I don't want to do it loud. We held the concert out in Brooklyn. Back to this maneuver that we've already done to watch the island bridges blow. So see, that's all stuff you've already learned. Watch what it's doing there. Okay. One more time I'm going to play from that spot forward, then we'll go back and play all the way through from the beginning of the verse. Okay? So from the very beginning, we've gone bum, bum, bum. Okay, now that's where I'm starting, right here. Excuse me. Go through that one more time even slower and take a quick gander, because I know that repetition on this, and for those of you who all pick it up faster, I apologize. You'll have to fast forward if you get bored, but I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to really let this soak in. Excuse me, I just botched something up. Ignore that. Here we go again. And I suppose just for the sake of getting it right, I'm going to do it one more time, then we're going to move on to the next section. So again, here we were. Okay? And the next section is pretty simple. We're right here on a D chord, which is A, D, and F sharp, and you've got an F sharp bass, and it's bum, bum, bum. So here's where you start bum, bum, G, G, A, B, B, C sharp, B, B. Okay, so again, F sharp, G, G, A, B, B, C sharp, B, B. Okay? So now we've got a D chord up here, which is, we play that, bum, and then it's a G chord, B, D, and G. Then a D chord again, which is A, D, and F sharp. And then a G chord again, B, D, and G. Then an A chord, and I play it full, which is A, C sharp, E, and A. Then down to a G chord, which I play full, which is G, B, D, and G. Okay, so watch this. I'll play it slow. One more time. Okay. Now, I'm gonna play from the time that we come in and go. I'm gonna play that slow all the way through to the part we just finished, and then I'm gonna play it at full speed. And I'm gonna play it right this time, sorry. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first slow verse. And we will get into We Went Right On With the Show. That stuff next. So I am going to take a short breather, but I'll be back with you on your schedule in about, 3 or 4 seconds. Alright, I'm back. It was a great break for me. Wasn't much of a break for you, I know. But don't worry, you have the ability to hit the pause button. So, anyway, we are going to carry on. We are now into the section of the song that I'm going to give you a couple of options here. Because technically what's going on with the piano, the guitar, and the bass is it goes into a thing going like... teach you how to do that because that is what they're playing. However, this is a piano vocal tutorial, and Billy Joel, I've heard him talk about this, and he goes, "Man, this sounds ridiculous when it's just a piano by itself." And he's right. It does sound kind of ridiculous by itself, but it's not because this song can't be played that way. The problem is that what a lot of piano players do is they forget that they're not, if they're playing by themselves, they forget that they're not just trying to play what was on the recording for their instrument, but they're trying to cover up for the fact that there's no longer a bass player and a drummer. And while the bass might very well have been going, or ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, alright? It's the pace and the fluidity of the song is really also there. That can work to do that rhythm because there's a drummer in the background going... And so what a lot of players don't do is they don't compensate for the fact that we don't have drums keeping that tempo going and keeping a little bit of pace going with what they're doing, even though we're playing a rhythm that kind of by itself is a little boring. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. And you play it and it leaves a lot of people feeling a little unsatisfied, basically, because this song is, you come out of this thing... They turned our power down, and drove us underground. But we went right on with the show. And you're ready for it to really, start kicking butt. And when you do this, you go, we went right on with the show. It doesn't have that punch you're looking for because it doesn't have the pace. So I'm going to show you real quick here what I do when I'm doing a piano vocal. And if I were playing this in a band or if I were playing it with tracks, absolutely, I would be going... because that's the right part to play in an ensemble when you've got a drummer doing your... Okay? But what I do is this. I go, we went right on with the show. And the reason I do that when I'm playing it as a solo player is that right away what my left hand is doing, while it is technically not correct in terms of copying what was being played on the record at that spot, it starts adding that pace and that momentum that you were missing, so that you really get the punch you're looking for. So I'm going to teach you both things, and then you can choose what you want to do. If you're a purist, you'll probably want to go... if you're like me and you love that part and all of that, but you just think it sounds like crap unless you got a band around you and a guitar player to go wow wow wow, then you're probably going to want to go. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up. So let's start with the part that's actually being played. And so you've just come out of "We went right on with the show." Okay, so what you have is essentially a B power chord, which is octave B's in the bass, and then just a root and a fifth, which is B and F sharp. And then that goes to a D power, which is D's, and then a root and a fifth, which is D and an A. So we're here and here. So here's the rhythm. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Okay. Even slower. Okay. Then from there we move down to an F sharp power, which is F sharps, and then an F sharp and a C sharp in the right hand. And that moves to an A power, which is A and E in the right hand and A's in the bottom. So there it's doing the exact same thing from here to here, and then from here to here. So here's your rhythm again. Ba-da-dun-dun, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da. Okay. So let me play that slow and just take a look. There's one other part that you need to know when you do this. When you come off of the F sharp power to the A power, then you come up and you play a D chord in first inversion, which is F sharp, A, and D, and it's bum, bum, ba, and then you come down and it's E, A, and C sharp. Bum, bum, ba, bum. Bum, bum, ba, bum. So watch the whole line here. Okay, one more time, let me see. You just repeat it. Okay? So I'll play through that line exactly the way it's played. I'm just going to slow it down a little bit, and you run through it twice, because it repeats. So again. So that is the official way to play that. And if you were in a band, if you are playing it in a group, then that is what you should play, because, like I said, that's what's designed to be played. The next technique I'm going to show you is a way to help kind of compensate for the fact that you don't have a drummer keeping that pace for you. Okay? But, so when you come out of it, they turned our power down and drove us underground, you know. But we went right on with the show. Okay, so there you go. That's that. If you want to play with my little technique, then here's what you do. We went right on with the show. The first thing to understand is that you're going to stay on a D bass. You're going to be on a D bass and an A bass only. And what you do is you go into octaves and you start going bum, 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. And what that's really doing is it's simulating what a bass drum, a kick drum, is going to be doing, which is okay, like that. Okay. Autumn bum, da da dum dum. And that together, but that's just to give you an idea. So it's D's, octave D's, bum 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 bum, A, bum 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 bum. If you want to learn more about this technique and how you can apply it to all different kinds of settings, get my video called Become Your Own Rhythm Section Volume 1. Because this is a fantastic rock technique that you can use over just about, goodness gracious, any tempo and almost any song. It's a great, great way, and a lot of piano players overlook that and try to play more notes. And I'll see people who play so many notes and yet the sound is so empty because they don't have any pace. So anyway, that's just my little spiel. So here's where you're at, and what I like to do is play the B power here, which is B and F sharp, bum 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 bum, and then move to a D chord, ba bum bum bum. Okay, B B D D. So then the D chord is A, D, and F sharp. So ba da bum bum, ba ba bum, ba ba bum. Okay, does that make sense? So over the top of it, we went right on with the show. See how that's working? We went right on with the show. Okay, we went right on with the show. Okay. So then when we go down to an A bass, you have your F sharp power here, and I just play it with this A in the bottom, ba bum. So it's A, C sharp, and F sharp, ba bum, and then it's an A chord, which is A, C sharp, E, A. And then this D chord, which is A, D, F sharp, and A, bum, bum, ba, bum. Back to it, bum, bum, ba, bum. So watch how that works. So I've gone. Excuse me. Let me play that even slower here. So I much prefer it that way if I'm playing a piano vocal because, you know, like I said, here's the effect. Version 1, the actual way it was played on the record, but with a band by itself, sounds like this. We went right on with the show. Or my way that I do when I'm doing a solo piano. We went right on with the show. So, you know, you get to be the judge for what you like the best and play it the way you want to. There's no right or wrong. That's just what I like to do as a solo piano player. I do a lot of gigs with bands, a lot of gigs with tracks, and I do a lot of gigs just by myself, and so I change things up depending on the scenario that I'm in, and you get to make your own choices about what's best. But those are your two options there that I'm going to give you, and if you come up with a third one that you think is even better, put it on a YouTube video and send it to me and say, hey Steve, stick this in your pipe and smoke it. That's fine. So anyway, now we're on to Seeing the Lights Go Out on Broadway. Okay? So we're going to be on a D bass, and what I'm going to be teaching you on the solo vocal is to do this little bum 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 pattern all the way through, basically in the left hand. Because that's what adds that pace and that rhythm. Seeing the lights go out on Broadway, saw the ruins at my feet. You know we almost didn't notice it. Okay, so where we're going to be at, we're on a D here, we're on an octave Ds, and you're going to stay on octave Ds for a little bit. And the right hand, you're on a D chord, and it's bum, 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 bum. Okay, bum, bum, bum. So A, D, and F sharp, which is your chord here. Bum, 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 bum. Then do a G chord, which is B, D, and G. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so watch that slowly here. See how that goes? D, 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 G, 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 D, D, G, D, D, G, D, D. See, sorry about that. D, G, D. It's kind of a tongue twister. D, 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 G, 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 D, 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 G, D, D. All of it over a D bass. Okay, so even a little slower. Now, if you want to play it like turnstiles, then you just go da-dum. So your left hand is D, C sharp, B, B, or D sharp, D, C sharp, B. Okay? And your right hand would go this D chord to an A chord, which is A, C sharp, and E, up to a B minor chord, which is B, D, and F sharp. So bum, bottom bum bum, D, A, B minor, B minor. Okay, that's what the turnstile thing would be. So you're if you want to play it the way he tends to do it live, then what you have to do is go bum 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 bum. Then in octaves up here, it's A, B, D, A, B, D. Now, if you wanted to, you could play the fifths in there too, which would be A, E, and A, and then B, F sharp, and B, and then D, A, and D, like that. So you can do that if you want. I don't. I just do octaves. I might come down on a chord up here, ba-dum-bum, and I might come down on a B minor chord, which would be like D, F sharp, B, and D. So that's up to you as well. It can just be that, ba-dum-bum, or it can be, excuse me. So that's really up to you, but watch how this all fits. This is the live version. Bum, 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 bum. See how that goes? Bum, 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 bum. Okay? Okay, so there's your bum, bum. And then you come in on a B minor down here, which is B, D, and F sharp. And then we move to a G chord, which is B, D, and G. Bum, bum, bum. And then an A chord over an A bass. A, C sharp, E, and A. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 which is dum, bum, C sharp. Watch, see what happens there. The C sharp, this finger goes from C sharp, bum, to D, back to C sharp, bum, 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 ba, bum, 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 bum. Okay? So watch that line all the way through here so that you can see it in context. Okay, watch it one more time. Okay. You can transition on this A bass from A down to G down to F sharp, or you can just stay on A. And then you stay on an A chord up here, but you go to an F sharp bass. So see how the right hand is going bottom, bump, bottom, bump, bottom. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bump, ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum-ba-bum, bump, ba-dum, bump, ba-dum, bump, ba-dum, bump, ba-dum, bump, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bump, ba-dum. ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. So see how there's kind of a pattern there. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. So let's get as far as we've gotten there, and I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing here, kind of in slow motion. Just watch. Okay? One more time, I'm even going to slow it down a little farther. We go to a B minor chord. Now remember this fun little chord that we did in the slow section where it's B, C sharp, E, and F sharp? Okay. So see, we're here. Then we're back to an A. And we do this little guy, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, ba. Then do a G chord, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum. And then it's dum-dum with a C sharp bass and an A chord, ba-bum, ba-bum. Okay, so watch this all the way through here. I'm going to play it slow. Bum, 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 bum. And I have to admit, I apologize. I don't play anything exactly the same way twice usually. So I'm kind of picking out the main themes of what I always do. And if you get comfortable with the chords and all of that, you're going to probably improvise a little bit yourself. But you have to keep that main ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. That's what's really important, and if you ornament it a little bit, that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to, but you can. So one more time, watch me. I'm going to get all the way through that point. Forgive Guy for really botching up really bad. Let me try that again. One more time, all the way through there. Okay, now we're back to a D chord, which is here. Then we've done this before. And here again. So very repetitive. And then we are back to the whole boom. Okay, so we'll get into that in a second, but so watch the entire line up until the point we go. The turn, you know, the da 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 da. Okay, before we get to that, so we've come in and watched this in slow motion. Okay, so see there's a lot of repeated parts in there. I'm going to do it one more time for continuity's sake, and then we're going to move on. Okay? Now, just a quick note, for any of you who might be playing this in a band, what you're probably going to want to do is, for the bass, you're just going to want to stay on the right chords like we've been in, but for the bass line, for your left hand, rather than being going, okay, which now the bass player and the drummer are going to take care of that for you. So what you're going to want to do is mirror the rhythms of your right hand, so it'll just be... Okay, and the reason you're going to want to do that is that you want to stay out of the bass player and the drummer's way when you're in a band. Alright, but I'm teaching this for people who don't have a drummer and a bass player and a guitar player too. So, you know, if you're going to be playing this in a group, just mirror the rhythms of your right hand. Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum, ba-dum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum. Okay? That's where you're going to want to be if you're playing this with tracks or in a group. So, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because this is a piano tutorial, but I do want to mention that for those of you who get this because you're playing in a tribute band or whatever. So, alright. So the next section is, we've already played this. We know the chords to this. The bum. Okay, so what I like to do to add a little bit of extra punch, I have a little pattern that I play. Watch what I do. I've got, so it's D and F sharp together, top two fingers together, then thumb, then the middle finger in the equation, then the thumb. So watch, bottom, 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 down. It can just be this too, but I usually play it a full, so that might be all three of these together. That's the pattern, is like chord, thumb, index, thumb. So it could be here, or just here. So watch it in slow motion. And when you get to the A, it could easily just be here, or it could be here. So that's really up to you, but that's just a little pattern that I use because when you get to it, it adds a little bit of extra punch. Because we're trying to add intensity. We're in the intense part of the song. So that's just something you can do, and if that's too much for you, or you think that it's a little overkill, you can just go back to okay? So that's really your call, but that's just something that I like to teach people as use, that something they can use. Okay, and then we're back to, and you get to choose. Do you want to go ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da-bum? If you're playing it like I tend to on a solo piano, do you want to go, and I'm not going to reteach that because I already taught it once, but that's what goes there. Now, you can either repeat exactly what we've done in the verse if you want it to be like the Turnstiles album, or there's a fun little thing that Billy does live at this second intense verse. You can keep your dun 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 dun, okay? And you can come up here, which here's your middle C, octave above middle C, D above that, and then find an octave with your pinky. And then find the A in between them with like your and it's just quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes to D's with a B in the middle, and I usually use my fourth finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, then back to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to the B's. Okay, so watch this in slow motion. Okay, not that hard, but it adds something really cool, because when you get, you're... Seen the lights go out on Broadway. Wow, watch the mighty skyline fall. See? So it's a pretty cool little lick, but it's not that hard to play. It's just... I keep it on this, then here. Now where do we go after that? Then you come back down to A. Just like we've learned before. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Then it's the exact same stuff we've already played. So watch this. I'm going to play it in slow motion and get all the way through that verse. Okay? So we've gone... So see how it's all just recycling things we've already seen. Let's talk about what happens when we get to that last ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. And then it's ba-bum, ba-bum. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a G chord. Okay, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. You know those lights went bright on. Then we're back to very similar to what we did at the very beginning. So let me get just to that part, and then I'm going to take a real quick break. Not that you'll notice it. And then I'll come back and I'll teach you the final send out, and you'll have had everything that you need to know. So watch the beginning of this second verse, or third verse actually, but the second intense verse, all the way through, and see how it's really, other than this stuff, it's basically stuff you've already learned. So we've come out. Actually, let me slow that down because I'm just really excited because I love this song. So we're. So, excuse me, I kind of botched that up. So let's. Okay, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. All right. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything in the verses. I'm going to show you kind of what we do at the end. You've pretty well learned it, to be honest with you, from learning the beginning, the seeing the lights go out on Broadway. But there's a couple of little things that we're going to throw in there and give you for dexterity. So I'm going to take a short break, and for me it'll be nice, and for you it'll be all of about 2.5 seconds. So I'll see you in the next section. All right, folks, we are back, and we are ready for our last little bit of this song. Now, earlier we already taught you how to go. You already learned that, and the end of the song is very similar to the beginning of the song in that way, because we've just gone, you know, those lights went bright on Broadway. Okay, so you da-da-dun, da-da-dun, and then it's a G chord like that. Beg your pardon. Let's go bright on. Now, where we pick up would essentially be where you go. Okay. However, on the Turnstiles album, they do it one way at the beginning, and at the end it goes like this. Okay, so I'm going to teach you that little maneuver, and then you can use that interchangeably at the end or at the beginning with the other technique, which is just... Because, for instance, at the Yankee Stadium concert, Billy plays it the kind of vanilla way, both at the beginning and the end. And in the Songs in the Attic recording, the live recording there, he does the both at the beginning and the end. And of course in Turnstiles, he does it one way at the beginning and one way at the end. So it's really, you get to be your own sort of Picasso on that one and make it up. But here's what you're doing. You're on a D chord, which is A, D, and F sharp. You're you're on a D bass. And then it is D and F sharp, then E and G, then D and F sharp, then E and C sharp, and then your B minor chord. And in the bass line, you're going D, D, C sharp, B. So watch this, it goes like so. Again. Excuse me there. So watch that again. Okay? The rest of it, so, you know, it's pretty much what we've already learned, but I'll show you. I'm just going to walk you through all the way through it. So you go da-da-dun, da-da-da, you know those lights went bright on Broadway. But that was so many years ago. Before we all lived here in Florida. Before the mafia took over Mexico. There are not many who remember. Now here, you can either do this, or if you want to, you can come up, there's a little synthesizer thing that's like, almost like a horn or something. And if you want to, you can play that. And it's up here, it's on an A. It's A, B, C sharp, D. So you could do that, or you could do it in octaves, however you want to do it. They say a handful still survive. Or if you want to, you can just play your... Because it's not a piano part, but sometimes I'll do that when I'm playing this. I'll go, you know, there are not many who remember. They say a handful still survive. So that's really up to you. It's A, B, C sharp, D. However you want to do that, but do it, don't do it, it's really okay. What the piano part is doing on turnstiles is, but that was da, 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 da. And then you're back to tell the world about the way the lights went out, keep the memory. And now from here you go to a B flat added ninth chord, which is a B flat bass, and then it's a B flat, C, D, and F. Alive. And then you're back to the stuff we worked on at the beginning. Taught you that at the beginning. So again, let me just play through from ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, and I'm not gonna do the, okay, that's up to you if you want to put that in. I'm not gonna play it on this one, but I'm gonna go from ba-da-dum, all the way through to the end so you can see it. I'm gonna play it in slow motion. So Da dum da da dum da 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 dum bum bum bum. You know those lights went bright on Broadway, but that was so many years ago. All right. If there's something else I could teach you about this song, I honestly don't know what it is anymore. So we're going to call that good. We're going to call it a wrap. There should be adequate information on here for you to be able to rewind, watch, fast forward, pause, replay, etc., and hopefully it will shed some light on you, because this is one of, like I said, this is right up there among fans as one of the great Billy Joel songs that maybe the general public isn't quite so familiar with. And it's a great piano song. It's a great piano song. So I know that it was one of the ones I was eager to learn when I was younger, and one of the ones I've worked on steadily over the last 20 years to really get it down. And I really hope that it has proven to be of value to you, and that it helps you do something that you're as excited about as I was when I started to learn it. So I am Piano Man Steve Lungrin. I would appreciate your feedback. Let me know what works, what doesn't, what you want to have me do next, and because your feedback will always be the most important thing to my business. And of course, check out my other tutorials and lessons. There's a lot of great Billy Joel tutorials, and there's also a lot of great lessons that just teach you, different kinds of techniques, either how to play, make yourself into a rhythm section, for instance, how to do a walking bass line technique, or a rock technique, or even a country technique. So we have stuff like that. We've got licks that I teach, or that kind of stuff, and just lots of different kinds of things. So visit my website often. I add content to it regularly, and that's enough of my pushing my own products, I guess. I will stop talking now, and we'll call it a wrap. This is Piano Man Steve signing out, and remember, if you are not having fun when you're making music, you are doing it wrong, my friend. Have a great one, and thanks so much for your business. Take care.